Charter of Rights applicable or Dominion of or
Charter
of Rights applicable. Room number 2 is done. Open room number 3. High procedure fairness, low procedure fairness, or medium procedure fairness. Nature of the decision. Nature of the decision. What do you think? Okay. What do you think nature of the decision of the admin body is a final decision or is not a final decision? What do you think, sir?
Not a final decision.
Yeah.
Not a final.
Why?
Because the hearing is still pending.
Still hearing is pending. Still hearing is pending. You're gonna say, okay, nature of the decision. If nature of the decision of the admin body, you're gonna write in exam. If nature of the admin body is the final decision, then high procedure fairness. High?
If final, then high.
High. Okay. If nature of the decision of the admin body is not a final decision, then low procedure fairness is required. But in a given scenario, decision is not a final decision, a premature decision. Premature decision, low procedure fairness is required. Still, right? No, low procedure fairness is required. Nature of the statutory scheme. What is the meaning of the nature of the statutory scheme? And whether right of appeal is available. Can you see right of appeal is available? Can you see? It means there is no right of appeal. If silent, it means there is no right of appeal.
No, if it's silent, maybe and it may not be. Silent, they are not.
Silent means no. They have to return everything.
Okay.
Silent means it means there is no right of appeal.
No right of appeal means high procedure fairness.
Yes. In NCA exam, if you are fail in NCA exam,
They have a
right of appeal. So nature of the statutory scheme in NCA, right of appeal is available. So low procedure fairness is required. But in Alberta Dentistry Board, in a given scenario, nature of the statutory scheme, there is no right of appeal is available. If you are unhappy with the decision of the admin body on hearing, there is no right of appeal. High procedure fairness is required. Importance of the decision to individual.
Suspension there.
First paragraph, last one line. So can you read first paragraph, last 1 or 2 lines?
However, the rules provide the discipline board with a discretion in matters not covered by the procedural rules to proceed in a manner which ensures an efficient, fair hearing. Sanctions for professional misconduct range from reprimand through suspension to expulsion. And there is also provision for a fine of up to $250,000.
So there was a very serious importance of the decision to individual is a very serious. It's a matter of bread and butter. Firing from the job. Big stigma. If you are a lawyer, your license has been suspended. And being a lawyer, you have to inform prospective client, future client, every client you have to tell my license has been suspended. So what do you think? It's a big stigma of your life. Very serious case. Matter is over. Legitimate expectations. Any legitimate expectations from the given scenario? Yes, my friend.
Yes.
Right? Legitimate expectations. Where is the exact point? Where you are based on promise or past practice?
Because earlier Kyoto had represented him, but
that was called past practice, violation of the past practice.
Yes.
Right? Legitimate expectation based on past practice. Then choice of procedure. Don't worry about choice of procedure. Okay? Now we have to make a conclusion. Conclusion is this is a final decision. On my room number 3, second page. See room number 3, nature of the decision, nature of the statutory scheme, importance of the decision, legitimate expectations, choice of procedure. I have writing nature of the decision for your knowledge. Nature of the statutory scheme, number 2. Number 3 is importance of the decision to individual. I have written exact cut copy paste. See, Kane, a high standard of justice is required when right to continue in one's profession or employment at stake. R versus Kane. So you're gonna write this line. Within the criteria of Kane, high justice is required when employment at stake. Here, employment at stake. Okay, in Singh case, okay, again, see, in Singh case, section 7 of the Charter of Rights, Suresh, Singh, where a serious issue, section 7 is engaged. So basically two or three paragraphs we have to pick up which is the relevant. I have possibility, everything I have covered in my IRAC. Bread and butter, okay, deputation order, right? So, okay, Mr. Singh, what happened in, just I'm telling you, Mr. Singh is a different, Pushpa Nathan is a different case. What happened in Pushpa Nathan? Pushpa Nathan was from Sri Lanka, Tamil Nadu. He was from Tamil Nadu. He was terrorist in Sri Lanka. Okay, but he was sick and tired with terrorism. Finally, he run from the Sri Lanka, came into Canada. There was a deputation order. So after the deputation order, he is going to the court against the decision of the immigration board. Okay, so in the immigration, importance of that decision to individual, the judge is right here. Judge is here. You are Pushpa Nathan. You are Pushpa Nathan. If you're gonna stay in Canada, all people are scared, man. You are terrorist in back home. Everyone knew. He was involved in murder. He was involved in bomb blast. He was involved in lot of criminal activities. See different issues. Then we're gonna pick up only. We're gonna give. I have covered here, Pushpa Nathan. I have covered in my IRAC. Then we're gonna pick up this issue. You know, if he's gonna stay in Canada, I'm a judge here. If I'm gonna accept his application, stay in Canada, threat to the national security of Canada, highly chances he's gonna start criminal activities in Canada. On the other hand, if we're gonna deport him back to the Sri Lanka, section 7 is also engaged. His life would be infringed, his liberty would be infringed. So we have to make a balance. If he gonna lives in Canada, threat to the national security, deportation, he would be killed. Then we have to pick up this issue. If exam question, this kind of exam question. But what happened in Mr. Singh case? What happened? There was a different case. He was not terrorist in his back home. There was some religious issue in 1984. Okay, he was innocent guy. Okay, based on some religious factors, he moved from his back home into Canada. So it's a case is different. Then you're gonna say, see, correlate from the given scenario. Mr. Singh is here. Then you will not gonna give reference for Pushpa Nathan. You're gonna say only section 7 is engaged, because if Mr. Singh gonna go back to his country, his life would be infringed, liberty would be infringed, security would be mental torture. He would highly chances he would be killed. But if he's gonna stay in Canada, this is not threat to the national security of Canada. The point is, if question gonna come from like a Pushpa Nathan, pick up the Pushpa Nathan facts. If you're gonna pick up, if question gonna come from like Mr. Singh case, then Mr. Singh documents, right, in exam, right? How we gonna handle? Final decision would be on the whole, final decision on the whole, nature of the decision, relationship exists between the respondent is DEMU and a board is Alberta Dentistry Board. Impact on the respondent of the impugned decision lead to the conclusion that there is a common law duty to act fairly. Okay, I need your eye contact. Being a judge, I need your eye contact. Conclusion. I have to make a conclusion. You know what? There are two violations. One is violation of under the Act, subordinate legislation, policy and guideline. It means violation of the Act, violation of the subordinate legislation, violation of the policy and guideline. But in a given scenario, there is no violation against the Act, right? Then common law. It means I'm gonna write common law. Then tell to the, okay, you know what, ma'am? On the whole, nature of the decision